Hi everybody, it's Alexa here with another In My Mailbox post for Pages of Forbidden Love. I got a lot of stuff again this week. Some of it came from contests, some of it came because I found some great sales again, which I always love sales on books. So let's get started with a couple things. Some of them are going to be adult books and some of them are going to be teen books today. I finally got in the mail my copy of Duchess of Sin. I won this from one of the paranormal romance blogs, and I'll provide a link and everything to her blog so you can go check it out and see how her site is. They were having a good teen sale on one of the websites this week. I think it was Barnes & Noble. So of course I had to order something because it was buy one book, get one 50% off. Again, still haven't read the first two books in this series, but people are saying it is awesome, and I figured at only $4, I couldn't really go wrong with this series at this point. I had won the first book a while back, I got the second one for Christmas, and I only paid half price for this one. So I figure all in all, if it's a bad series, or if I just particularly don't like it, I only spent $4 of my money on it, so just still willing to give this one a shot. My book club is actually supposed to be reading this coming up, so hoping to read the series with them and just kind of get their thoughts and mine on it. They also had an adult book sale going on Barnes & Noble, where if you buy 3 romances, you get the 4th one for free. So the ones that I chose, I decided to get the trade paperbacks, which are normally $15. Most of these were anywhere from $9 to $10 on Barnes & Noble with my membership. And since one of them was free, it was really me only paying about $7 or so per book, so I thought it was a really great deal. I got Zack, which this is the first book in the Armed and Dangerous series. I've heard that it's a great series. I've heard many good things about the first book in particular, so I decided I would try it and give it a shot and see what I think about it. I got this one, I agree, mostly for the cover. I'm not gonna lie, it's a very awesome cover. And I've actually heard great things about this one. Book Lovers Inc. actually did a review for this one today, which is going to be a couple days from Sunday when I actually post this video. But you get my point. And just look at this cover. I think we should just savor this for a minute or so. Yes. It's supposed to be obviously about a guy who plays football, and yeah, it's just supposed to be great, and there is going to be a second book in this series which is about a pro baseball player. So I guess we're keeping with a sports theme for this one. The next one is more of, I'm not really sure how you would classify this one, maybe a fantasy kind of dystopian feel. It is The Iron Duke. I have heard great things about this one, so I'm really excited to finally get a copy and read it. I also got a copy of Corralled, which again, I think we should just stare at the cover just for a moment or so, just to really appreciate it. Obviously it's about cowboys, so we'll get to see what this one is all about pretty soon. From Goodreads, I had won a contest about 3 months ago on there for one of the books. It normally takes 6 to 8 weeks to get a book that you won from Goodreads, so the 2 months finally came and went, and I realized I still didn't have the book. So there's a little button on Goodreads where if you ever do not receive a book, you can click the I did not receive it button, which I clicked that about 3 weeks ago, just to kind of say, hey, you know, I never got it, just to let the people know about it. And I wasn't really expecting to actually get it, but now I do. And it's a storm of pleasure. I haven't heard really great things about this one. I think it's like the second book in kind of a series, but they're standalone novels, so you can read it by itself. I'm not really sure about this one. I mean, I'm going to read it and give it a chance, but I'm not really super positive about this one yet. On to some more contest books that I won. I talked last time how I won Nightshade, and I think I went so far into explaining how happy I was to get the book that I didn't really explain where I had gotten it from. I know I did provide the links and everything last week, but I didn't actually personally on the video thank the bloggers. It was Kai, who runs Can't Find a Bookmark. On her blog, she was having an 18th birthday bash, and one of her contests was to win 3 books, and the books were actually going to be provided by Steph of Paper Cut Reviews, which I don't actually follow Stephanie's blog. I need to get on that and head over to Paper Cut Reviews to thank her and follow her blog and do all that great stuff. So thank you so much to the both of you, and here's the other 2 books that I won from the contest. I won The Scorch Trials, which I think about a month and a half ago I had purchased The Maze Runner, and I had showed that one off in probably one of my first vlogs. If not, it was still in pictures then. But I had gotten that one. I still haven't read it yet, but I've heard great things about this series, so I'm really excited that I got a nice new shiny hardcover of The Scorch Trials. And I also got Tiger Tiger, which of course is one of those fantasy novels. It's supposed to be about goblins, and I think it's the Goblin Wars book. Yes, it is. So this is the first in a series, so hopefully it's good. Some people seem to have liked it, some people didn't like it, so not really sure what I'm gonna feel about this one yet, but still excited. Brand new hardcover, it's so pretty. The other book that I had gotten when I had done the buy one get one 50% off for the teen sale is The Tiger's Curse. Apparently this had come out a long time ago in ebook format, I think 2 years ago, but I was never aware of it actually. But I think the cover of this is really beautiful. People say that the kind of legend, the fantasy part of it is really great, and there's also some romance involved. So if it's a great fantasy novel with a little bit of romance on the side, that sounds like something I'm gonna enjoy. And I really just, this book is so heavy, like the pages in it kind of reminds me of the Harry Potter books when they were first coming out, and they had that really expensive, thick, heavy paper in them. That's kind of how this book is, so I'm sure I'll get an arm workout when I'm reading it. I did get one more book this week. I actually traded, I had an art copy of Vesper, and I had purchased it from a used bookstore where I had found it at. I know you're not supposed to sell ARCs, but apparently the person did, and I was saving them. I counted it as saving them from the used bookstore. But I was reading some reviews on it, and it didn't really seem like something that I was actually going to enjoy. It seemed like it might have been good, but it just didn't really seem like the storyline was really going anywhere that I would have liked it to have. So I just decided to put it up for trade to see if anybody actually wanted to trade me for a new book or an older ARC that they had. And I actually got contacted by Miss D. Raps, who runs a blog. I think she runs actually several blogs because she's a teacher, so she has a couple different ones for people to read and her students to read, so I'll provide a link to her blog so you can go check it out. And she contacted me and she told me that she had a copy, an art copy of Revolution, which I was super excited about because I absolutely loved her other book for teens, which is A Northern Light. It actually came out several years ago, probably when I first started getting into reading. It was already published for a couple years, and I first started reading about 5 years ago. That's when I first read the book. I absolutely loved Northern Light. I thought it was beautiful. It is one of my favorites to this day. So of course, this being by Jennifer Donnelly, I have to read it. I kind of wanted to get in the hardcover edition because it has all those antique older pages that I talked about last week in Nightshade, but it's just really expensive for the $19 hardcover, and even with coupons and stuff, it wasn't the price that I wanted it to be. So I'm happy to have an ARC edition of this book. It's in great condition, you know, and it's actually a bigger ARC too. It's rather wide, so it's kind of like the hardcover in many instances. I'm very excited to read this one. She also sent me a cute little note that just says, "Thanks for swapping," and I'm glad I swapped with her. I got something cool out of it, something I really wanted to read. So that's everything that I got this week. I got some great stuff, and I can't wait to read it. I think I've been reading too many teen novels lately, so I'm going to try and correct that by possibly reading some more adult romances for a little while, at least until my book club group starts to hassle me and get me back into teen stuff. But that's all I got this week, and I hope all of you had a great week, and I wish you happy reading, and tell me what you got in your mailbox.